Hi, this is Ms. Pat from Samuel's Public Library. This week in Science Scouts, we're going to learn about habitats, food webs, food chains, things of that nature. So these are projects you might be able to do for your classroom or virtual learning or in school. So our book this week is called Where in the Wild by Poppy Bishop. We're going to learn about different places. Across the world, on land and sea, are creatures living wild and free, and each one has a precious home, a habitat, its place to roam. My river home has all I need, says Otter. It's my place to feed. I hold my food with nimble paws and crunch through shells with powerful jaws. In lush rainforests, homes abound, from high tree tops to shady ground. On branches, monkeys screech and chitter, and insects hide in damp leaf litter. My home, says Leopard with a purr, is dappled like my spotted fur. Yes, I'm the master of disguise. I give my prey a big surprise. Beneath a vast and changing sky, where flocks of bats and vultures fly, great elephants and lions roam, and call the wild savanna home. A meerkat digs with its front feet. I search the earth for things to eat. My claws are curved and very strong, so I can tunnel all day long. Okay, so the savanna might be in places like Africa. And you're going to have the meerkats and the lions and the tigers and the elephants. In scorching deserts, sunshine bakes the homes of lizards, mice, and snakes. A tough scorpion escapes the sun in a sandy burrow made for one. My name, says Camel with a snort, is of the shifting sandy sort. My feet are flat and spread out wide, so I don't sink and break my stride. Okay, so there's your camels and your scorpions. You got our lizards. Apparently kangaroos in Australia also, part of Australia is also a desert. The forest is a busy place where every creature has its space. Birds roost up in leafy trees while badgers sniff the evening breeze. A blue jay puffs its chest and sings, my home is where I rest my wings. The bugs and grubs in this oak tree are tasty snacks just right for me. Okay, so this kind of habitat is like the Shenandoah National Forest, right? This is like the area all around Front Royal and Warren County. Across the windswept grassy plain, the loping wolf and buzzard reign. In snug, warm burrows, marmots hide, while herds of deer roam far and wide. A gray wolf lifts its head and howls, my home is where my wolf pack prowls. We have long legs so we can chase the deer across this big wild place. Now we do not have wolves around this area, and these are not the kind of deer that we have, right? So they're going to be further out west in the grassy plains. In forests that are evergreen, great grizzly bears are sometimes seen. Up rocky mountains, wild goats bleat and clamber high with steady feet. A golden eagle blinks and smiles. My yellow eyes can see for miles. I circle high for hours each day, then swoop down when I spot my prey. Okay, so we don't have grizzlies, we have black bears around here. There's moose and mountain goats and grizzly bears up in the mountains, like the Rocky Mountains up towards Canada. And this is further up in Canada. This is towards Alaska. On the Arctic tundra, reindeer graze and birds return for summer days. The blue-green sea is home to whales with spiral tusks and sturdy tails. My home, says proud white polar bear, is bitter cold, but I don't care. My fur and fat will keep me warm through every icy, snowy storm. Okay, so we'll find this up towards Alaska, northern Canada. In busy oceans, dolphins play, and seabirds dive through salty spray. Along the currents, turtles glide. to coral reefs where small fish hide. Little seahorse bobs and sways. This grass is where I spend my days. I use my tail to hold on tight so I don't float away at night. Okay, so this might be the Atlantic Ocean, or even the Pacific Ocean. But habitats are shrinking fast. These special places will not last if we do not take better care of the wilderness everywhere. So now it's up to all of us to spread the word and make a fuss. Let's save each river, plant and tree, the homes of creatures wild and free. Okay, so there are different types of habitats. We just saw in that book, right? And habitat is a place that an animal lives. It provides the animals with food and water and shelter. Different habitats are home to different animals, right? So there are kind of like 5 major ones. There's the aquatic, and that could be water. That could be ocean, that could be lakes, that could be rivers, but there's water. There are deserts, there are forests, and even the forests can be broken down. Remember, the grizzlies are in the pine forests and the mountain forests, and then we have our deers or the black bears around here in our forests. Grasslands. Okay, the grasslands in Nebraska are a whole lot different than the grasslands or the savanna in Africa. And then there's the tundra, which is the really cold area. Right, and these are different animals that you might find in different places. So if you're not sure what kind of animal you want to look up, right? So we have chimpanzees and monkeys and parrots and snakes and gorillas and stuff, and these are in rainforest. We got our polar bears and penguins in the polar area. Wetlands, you might have these tall birds or ducks or crocodiles or beavers and frogs and otters. They're in the wetlands. We have grasslands. Well, this one says grassland. It really should be savanna. But our grasslands have the bison and the rabbits. The savanna has the elephants and the lions. Okay, we have the desert. We have the marine, which would be the ocean. Okay, there is a loss of habitat. Okay, and that can be due to a lot of things, but mostly it's due to people. So these little red spots here, this is where the pandas are today in China. These are the only areas you'll find pandas in China in the wild. But all this orange spot, that's where pandas used to be in 1800. So yeah, that was 200 years ago. Look at how small their habitat is now. It's gone from here to here. And that's because, as you can see in this picture, we're cutting everything down. We have these grasslands, and then we're cutting places down. We're cutting them down here in the rainforest to make room for roads. Okay, so we're making roads, we're making farms, we're making buildings and cities and towns. We're cutting down the trees that the animals need so that we can make paper and furniture and houses. All right, so animal habitats. What you guys need to do is choose an animal, research what it needs to survive. What kind of place does it live in? What does it eat? Does it have shelter or special adaptation to survive the heat or the cold? Okay, so these are different habitats. You can even pick farm animals, right? Certain animals live on farms. You're not going to see a lion on a farm, but you will see a cow. And then these things down here are what we're going to make. So the squirrel, they drew their trees in the background, and they just put one giant squirrel there. Okay, this one just made the grasslands, and he put his lion. He painted it, colored it all blue and made the octopus. Drew a cactus back here and the sun, and put sand down here for the camel. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. You're going to get a plate. Okay, it's already been cut. All you're going to have to do is tape it together. Okay, and you're going to get different things. You can use the ones we give you when you come in for a science kit, or you can make up your own. So this one came with, I did the rainforest, and we colored the back, and we just glue it on, and we put all the different animals on here. We colored the bottom. But if you want to do a desert, you could put a layer of glue on here and put some sand on here. You can color the whole thing brown to be sand. Put a cactus. You can draw your own trees. Okay, but remember we talked about the leopard, and he kind of blends in with the, so this is all a lot of black and green, and he kind of blends in with that. But we'll give you lots of papers. You can, again, instead of trying to draw your own animals. All right, so we have a couple of safari animals cut out. All right. A couple more that you can cut out. We have the desert ones, if you want to do the desert ones. We have the rainforest ones, which I've already used, right? Or we have an assortment. Okay, so these ones, you just cut out the squares. We have our farm animals. Here's our pig and our sheep. Okay, we have our savanna animals, like our lion. We have our bamboo forest ones, like the panda. Okay, we have owl forest ones, like the raccoon, because he lives in our forest. So does the owl, okay, or maybe the turtle. So we have a couple of marine ones. We have the seahorse and the octopus. So you can do a couple of different ones, okay? So figure out which kind of animal you want, and you can draw the thing on the back, or you can cut out pictures to do them on the back. You want to turn this into a food web or a food chain, you can draw a marker from here, you know, from the animal, the big predator, the top of the food chain. What does he eat? He'll eat this, he'll eat this, he'll eat this. Okay, what do they eat? They probably eat this. This guy down here, the anaconda, he'll probably eat a couple of them as well. Okay, and that's why it looks like a food web or a food chain. So you can use this for both, okay, to show a food web, a food chain, or just a habitat. Okay, and that would be a good science thing. I know a couple of your grades are doing that. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have fun picking an animal. Come in to the library, look up some books, see what your pictures look like, things like that, and we will see you next week. Bye.